Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Wednesday. It's 7 o'clock. Where else would you want to be? Turn off Emmerdale. Whatever you're watching, watch this. It's the Tier 3 finale. It's going to be a cracker. Now, this evening we are at what looks to be a very wet Spa. Let's hope that doesn't carry on into the race, although from a comms point of view it gives us more action. So why would we not want it to? We are at the 4.352 mile Spa-Francorchamps circuit. The drivers will cover 22 laps. This is no mean feat. But what comes in MRC would be complete without a co-com. Now I've got the best of them all tonight. He's my Yorkshire pudding. It's of course Chris the Blowhole Bailey. Good evening.
Good evening, Simba. Hello. Thank you for putting up with me tonight. It's a pleasure as always.
It's always a pleasure to put up with you, buddy. Not too bad. What about yourself?
I'm good. I'm looking at some wet stuff on my TV, and I'm wishing I was involved. To be honest, a spa in the rain, a wet spa day. Who could imagine a better way to spend an evening?
I mean, call me mad, but I actually like this track in the wet.
Me too, and the fact that it was wet in Tier 1 quali in Tier 2 race, it's only fair the Tier 3 boys got a bit of the wet stuff as well.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I wasn't overly thrilled that it was wet this week. We're trying to do the no ABS, I just kept locking up everywhere, but once I got the hang of it, it was actually quite fun. It's more rewarding.
Yeah, I agree. I won't lie, the track itself is probably up there, along with Suzuka, as one of the more fun tracks to be involved in, one of the more fun tracks to drive. In terms of the racing, it's very good, and yeah, the fact we get the good weather mix-up is just even more exciting. Ooh, I mean, a bit of controversy already. I just watched Melvin hit the back of Triz. I'll come back to Triz shortly, but yeah, Melvin just went into the back of him at Le Combe. I'm not sure if he's got damage, but he's got a 5-place grid penalty for it.
Not a good start to the evening.
No.
I see Donny, he's just coming through Blanchimont, about to enter the bus stop chicane, so we'll get our first lap with one of the title contenders. Do you want to run us through it?
Go on, let's do it. So, this lap is the longest of the tracks on the calendar. Here we go down the pit straight into the start of the lap, La Source, the start of the proceedings. And already Donny's gone very wide at turn 1. Let's hope he continues it. That exit there used to be gravel, now it's a bit of a runoff with some sausage curb, although the gravel should be back one day. Now then, Eau Rouge and Radion, one of the most dangerous corner complexes in the world. This has claimed both injuries of high level and lives as well. Over the crest onto the Kemmel Straight. The scene of Here Comes Sebastian Vettel back in 2018 as he overtook Lewis Hamilton into Le Combe. A 2-part chicane, which again, you enter at such high speeds in the dry of over 200 mile an hour. Now a 3-part corner. Now down the hill into Ravage, a tight right-hander that goes 180 degrees. You want to be early on the brakes and keep it tight. You can run wide here, but you will lose time. Now into what used to be called No Name, secretly one of the more preferred corners on the track by many people. It's a very fun corner to go through. Baby Hornets up the session.
No!
In downhill again into Pouhon. A very fast-flowing left-hander that opens up as the corner goes on. This is the corner where, in the dry, a small downshift and a flick of the wheel and you fly through. Now into the S's, right and left, nice and easy to get an invalidation by running wide. But, again, lots of times we found here. Now, Stavolo, a double right-hander, 2 almost 90-degree rights to make up this corner. It's all about the exit. This exit here leads onto the almost a straight section, heading up slightly uphill towards Blanchimont. This sequence here is extremely favourable if you want to make a late pass on someone. Uphill with a slipstream, it is so powerful. Into what used to be called the bus stop, which used to go left-right, now goes right-left. Tight right-left-hander here as he's late on the brakes, keeps it nice and neat, and then gets his foot down for the nice traction on the exit. Across the line, a 2-minute 0.9. Good banker.
Definitely a good banker. I'm glad you mentioned about the old bus stop chicane, because I preferred the old layout.
I did. Now, it's weird. They've had a few different variations. They had the the left, right, right, left. They've had the left, right, into a curving left onto the main straight, and now they've got the right, left. So, yeah, it's weird. I preferred, like you say, the old initial bus stop chicane, which was genuinely a bus stop, hence why it was called a bus stop chicane.
Rob Smith, 58.2. That's a good lap.
Indeed, and a beautiful car. That's a beautiful car in first and second. Oh, that's what we love to see.
Don't be getting too excited there, Mr. Blowhole.
Stop the count. A Williams and a Mercedes on the front row. Stop the count now.
Is that Airways just about to finish a lap? No, he's diving for the pit lane.
Ghost Rider. Oh, the Frenchman in a French car getting very excited. 57.0. That is a very good lap. Oh, he's nearly in the wall at turn 1.
Neil pops it P2 with a 57.4.
Indeed. Now that DRS Neil has left MRC, OG Neil, as we will now call him, is the one and only Neil. Therefore, he is the better Neil.
Scottish Ninja's invalidated. So the only person I believe that's on a properly good lap is the other title contender.
Indeed. So, run us through their lap, and I'll get up the title permutations as you do so.
That's a good plan. Well, it's just heading down the Kemmel Straight. See if he can pick the right braking point into Lacombe. Like you rightly said, quite a quick chicane, especially in the dry. Oh, and he's had a big drift through the second part.
How did he hold that?
That's some good practice, is that, especially for a no assist driver as well.
Yeah, fair play.
Into the tight hairpin. It seems to have got it nicely hooked up there. We'll go left into No Name. I can't stop calling it No Name. I don't care what they've changed it to now. And he's going to drop into P1. Slight lift, a downshift, but pretty committed. I think he really wants this title tonight. Let's see how he does into Campus. Again, another very fast chicane in the dry conditions. Although he's not taking it slowly. Into the corner I have crashed out at a few times. And the one where you can very easily invalidate your lap like if he hadn't backed off there he would have invalidated. Now the run down to Blanchimont. Let's see how committed he is through there. It's not an easy one in the wet. Full commitment. Good lad. Let's see how he does with the bus stop. Nice run through the chicane as well. Let's see what time he's going to get on the board. It's not going to be the top, but it's going to be a 56.8. Good banker.
He popped that lap in. Boofy, who's for work and university purposes been a bit in and out of the league the last couple of months. 55.7 to go P2. That's a belter of a lap.
It is a belter of a lap.
He's a second ahead of Neil, who's the nearest in-tier rival. The only person ahead of him is the Tier 2 supremely fast, rapid man that is Fox River. So he is irrelevant for the purpose of this, because he's a higher tier. Boofy's lap is actually a very underrated lap.
Melvin.
Melvin 55.7 almost matches him. She's got a 5-place penalty for the collision.
We know Fox River 8 does love this track though. I believe it's the only track he won at in Tier 1.
It is season 5, and I remember watching him gamble. And I gambled and staying on the dry tyres because the engineer told me it was going to dry up. He went onto the Inters when it was a safety car before it even started raining. When it started raining, everyone else went into the pits or stayed out on the dries, and he was, by the time everyone else by the time everyone was on the right tyres, he was half a lap ahead, and he sailed to an easy win. It was a great drive.
It was, funny enough, my first appearance on comms as well.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it was that one. I know it was a finale. It was Tier 1 and it was Spa, so it's got to have been that one. Because I'm pretty sure it was the one Fox River won. For another fun fact.
Rob Smith has a disconnection of the wheel tonight, so that's not going well for him.
Just looking at the YouTube, we've got a good evening from Mandy. Well, good evening, and enjoy watching your favourite track. She absolutely loves this one.
It's a good favourite. I agree with you there, Mandy. It's a good choice.
Keza Soze says, good luck in the final race of the season, gents. Good luck to you for Monday with the Hungary rerun. Obviously, Rob, you've covered
Yeah.
with the wheel disconnected. Dorrance says good morning. Well, it's good evening here, but yeah.
Yeah, well, it's morning somewhere.
I think
So,
it is for
yeah.
him. Isn't he out in Hong Kong or something?
Yeah, Hong Kong, I believe. Anyway, let's just touch on, obviously it's the finale, let's touch on the championship standings. So, long story short, there are two drivers who can win the title today. They are, as you mentioned earlier, DRS Julian Schoon, and J. Johnny, James DeJohnny. Now, these two are separated in the championship standings by a mere 10 points. 10 points. So, if Donny wins the race and Julian is P3 or lower, and there's no fastest lap in play, that should be enough to seal the title. It's just one example of the standings, but obviously outscore him by 11 points and the job is done. The constructors, mind you, is a little bit more open. Alfa Romeo is top, Williams is second, Red Bull are third, and Alfa Tauri are fourth, Mercedes are fifth. All of those teams can win the constructors title.
Yeah, it's very, very sweaty in that one.
The fact there's 5 teams in the mixed constructors at the final round, that's what we want to see in the real world of F1. None of this wrapping the title up at Japan.
Well, that was constructors anyway. I think the drivers might happen at Qatar, but going back to the YouTube chat, we have some royalty in the chat tonight as well.
Royalty?
It's of course Fabian. He's cheering on
that
for
is Lord Fabian.
Wookie and Airways.
Lord Fabian, how FBV.
I'm sure you'll get a reply soon enough.
I better, if not, I'll be upset.
Lovely lad is Fabian. I'm gutted he left.
Indeed. He's cheering on his good friend Airways. Now, Airways, also known as Zach, he's actually reserving in a lot of the higher tiers, apart from tier 1, regularly over the season, and he's done a fantastic job throughout the season when doing so. Let's give a little shout out to the newer members of both the league and this tier. I think it's only fair to do so. So, Jay Murr in the Alpha Tauri, he's out of the session unfortunately. He's currently in P9. Welcome to him. Welcome to Trez MBE in the Haas. This is his first race with us at MRC, so again, great to have him here. And of course, for the first time with me on comms, Wookie. Good to have you with us. I know he is someone who you've personally experienced in other leagues, so I know you vouched for him straight away, saying he was a good, fast, clean driver, and it's great to have him here. Immediately having a good impact in MRCX on Friday, and a great drift from Wookie through Lacombs. I don't know if you just saw, sorry, through Eau Rouge even, and Radion. That was a great drift.
Yeah, luckily we still had him on stream. I mean, that was well controlled.
It was brilliant. But I personally was right on the rear wing of him for a couple of laps on Friday, and he demonstrated some very good defensive and fairly fought driving between the two of us, which was both enjoyable and frustrating at the same time, but completely fair and fun.
Of course. You can't expect people to move over for you.
Oh no, exactly. I wouldn't want it that way.
You'd make your life too easy.
I would never want anyone just to get out of my way, unless... Oh no, well, unless it was a last lap dash for a win. But anyway.
And Lord Fabian has replied to you.
Lord Fabian, good. Good that you are good, my friend. I would be happier if you were still here in MRC, but I understand your personal situation. So it's okay, my friend. I'm glad you're well. Now, the qualifying session is nearly over.
Certainly is. Let's go have a quick look at Julian. He's on another lap.
Indeed. We have got a few people not having laps on the board. Stringy B, who, again, welcome back to Stringy. Good to have you back here in MRC. Airways, Stube and Baby Hornet also not with the laps on the board. Baby Hornet's out the session, so will not be popping another lap in.
Stube is maybe not setting a time.
I think you might be right. With 3 minutes to go, they're really running it tight for getting one in.
It's good to see Stube on track though. I know he's not been able to make tier 2 the last few weeks.
Yeah. But to be fair to them, a combination of work and parents' duties have been the major reason behind that. So,
Yeah,
fair play
that's
to them.
joys of being a daddy, unfortunately. You
Ooh,
can't always
Sambal.
do what you want to do.
Sambal
Uh,
been
yeah.
alleged to have blocked on track somewhere by the games, so he's got a 5-place grid penalty.
That's
Oh
a
dear.
weird one.
Yeah, that's a weird one. Stube is on an outlap, by the way, but I'm currently looking at his teammate, Grantish Ninja. He's not Scottish Ninja. I said this a couple of weeks ago. He's Grantish Ninja.
I'm just watching on with Donny at the moment because he's about
Ooh.
2.5 tenths up.
Oh, let's jump on board. Let's
He's
have a
just
look at him.
coming into the final sector as well.
Here we go.
Flying up to Blanchimont. I see his commitment this time. Looks
No, he
very
lifted.
committed there.
He did lift though.
I think you've got to in the wet.
I'll be honest with you. On Monday, I
Oh,
didn't on my last lap. I kept it flat.
very, very deep in the braking though. See what you can
There we
do.
go. He's up to 7th.
56.5. It's not where he's going to want to be though. He wants to be right up there with Julian ideally, because he has to beat him. Triz has just
Ooh.
been disqualified, parking in a dangerous location. I wonder if it was him that was
That's a
parked
shame.
on the pit straight. It
Yeah, there was
was.
a car me inside. Yeah, that would make sense.
Let's go have a look at Grantish Ninja.
Honestly, I think that's a better name than his actual name, Grantish Ninja.
In his last qualifying for the season, I believe he may be taking a little bit of a break, going as a reserve.
Yeah, but we'll have to wait and see. Ultimately, you know, some people every now and then feel like they need a break or they want to have a little bit more flexibility in how often they race. And yeah, if that suits them, that suits them. But
It
of course,
tends
the
to
new season
happen
plans,
if you've had a bit of a rough season.
Yeah, we all have them. Unless your name's Jay Sarge, in which case you're just always below par. Scottish Ninja 7 tenths up on his lap though. This would put him in the mix for P6 potentially, depending on how good the final sector is. Maybe top 5. And he's balls to the wall through Blanchimont.
Mr. Blowhole with them shots there at your tier 1 compadre.
Hey, look, listen, between me and Mr. Sargy Bargy, we are good friends, really. We just like to rip the living daylights out of each other on a daily basis.
And he goes
Ninja
P7.
goes 7th. Good lap.
And good evening, Riley.
Hello, Riley Doodles.
Thank you for subbing. Give the stream a like as well.
Yeah, give us a like. Give us your opinion on the drivers throughout the race. Stay tuned and let us know who you think is doing well and who could win.
But not your opinion
No.
on the awful commentary you've got to listen to.
Excellent commentary. It's the best commentary in the world. Now,
You've got
Fox
two
River.
Yorkshire puddings.
Look, you are a YouTuber as well. Good to know, Riley. That is good to hear. We will support you in your endeavours by giving you a thumbs up, metaphorically. There you go. Now then.
Let's have a look
Fox
at the
River.
Stubinator.
Oh, Melbourne's out! Melbourne's binned it at no name.
It's just before no name. It's coming off the hairpin by the looks of it.
Yeah, that's a shame, but we move on. We are on the last laps for everyone's qualifying attempts. So, here we go. Stube, as you mentioned, is in the final part of this lap. He's got no lap on the board, so this will be his one and only lap as Ghost Rider. 54.
What a lap! Take a bow, that man.
Let's
see how Stu goes.
For breakfast, but that's not a normal croissant he's had for breakfast. That's a croissant laced with some sugary powder.
Oh!
Big drift from Stubalicious, but P4.
That could have just cost him P3 because he was on a cracking final.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
he
Fox-
absolutely nailed that bus stop.
Fox River goes P1 with that lap. Great lap there. Scottish Ninja
Rooster's
is
invalidated.
not allowed- Yeah,
I think we're
that's
done.
it. That's the grid. That is the grid, everyone. Apart from the penalty, got penalties for both Melbourne and Sambal, 5 places. Otherwise, yeah, that order you can see there is the grid.
Well, Triz got disqualified, so it's between Sambal and Triz who goes P19 and who goes P20. Because of obviously the.
It should be Triz based on the disqualification. It should be Triz.
So Sambal should go 19th. and Melvin will drop to
Melvinho.
12th.
Melvinho will slot in between the rookie Wookie and the fiery cocked Grey Rooster.
It's going to be in a Ferrari sandwich.
No one wants to be in a Spinala sandwich.
Well,
Tell you what.
we saw that a few times last season, a Red Bull in a Ferrari sandwich.
Mind you, I'm surprised the two Ferraris are qualified in intermediates, because the Ferrari plan right now would have been to put a set of hards on in this condition.
Well, yeah,
Anywho.
El Plan.
El plan.
Never goes to plan.
Exactly.
So here we go, we've got your grid. It is Fox River 8 on pole, show off. Ghost Rider 2nd, Neil 3rd, Stoob 4th, Boothie 5th, DRS Julian in 6th, could be crucial for his title, or hopes at least. Melvin 7th, but will drop. Stringy is 8th, will go 7th. Donny is 9th, will go up to 8th, so he's only going to be 2 places behind his rival, who'll start directly behind him. Ninja 10th will go to 9th, Tyclear 11th will go to 10th, Wookie 12th will go to 11th, and we've got Rooster in 13th, J Mur in 14th, Jazz Bodge in 15th, Rob Smith 16th, Sambal 17th, Airways 18th, Baby Hornet 19th, and Triz in 20th.
Indeed.
I'm not going to go for title predictions because I don't want to ruin anybody's chances, but
No, let's not do it. Let's not.
ignoring Fox River 8 because he's ridiculously quick on this track and he's just showing off.
Oh, it's alright. He doesn't care.
Who do you think's going to win?
Oh, it's dry. Right. Right. I'm torn, if I'm honest with you. For me, I'm going to go. I'm going to go DRS Julian. Actually, you know what? He's the title leader. He's in the top 6 on the grid. I genuinely think he's looking good. Donny has to beat him by quite a significant amount of points. As well. So there's no pressure on Julian here. He just needs to bring it home. Other people will be fighting it hard, and he will pick up places where people maybe trip over themselves. And go with Julian.
That's probably not a bad call. I think Julian may try playing it safe, obviously with him being the championship leader. He may do a Prost. It just enough to get the title. So I'm going to go prediction wheel with Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Now, Ghosty, also known as Frank. Now, actually, I know a little bit about the man, the myth behind the Ghost. So, his actual name's Frank. He's from La France, but he lives in Bolton, which, for those who don't know, Bolton is in Greater Manchester in the northwest of England. And he speaks fluent English with a slight French accent, but not as strongly as this. So basically, he's the opposite of Ant in Tier 1. He's a Frenchman who spent a good chunk of his life in England. However, he is a lovely guy. But, yes, he's a good call. He's a very quick driver as Ghost, and he's a nice, genuinely nice bloke. I think Stoob in P4, this could be a good race to give him some confidence, you know. That P4 on the grid for him, bear in mind he only did the 1 lap. That shows he has got the pace, he has got the confidence in this track and in himself. Let's see if he can deliver it on the day.
Let's have a quick look at tyres as well while they're still on the outlap. So Wookie on softs, Julian and Triz on hards, everyone else mediums.
Yeah, that's not surprising. The medium and hard tyres are very close in terms of their raw pace, so running medium hard is the preferable strategy if there's no safety cars. As soon as you have one safety car, you can then go medium soft very comfortably. But if you start on the hards, you negate a lot of the strategy options to jump on the hards early on if you want to try and get an undercut. So, not surprising the mediums are the preferred starting tyre.
Yeah, I prefer mediums here because if you can stretch them out long enough, you can go to softs.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you get an early safety car, which can happen at Spa, you can jump to the hards and go to the end.
Exactly.
But so that's just my personal preference. But
yeah,
I can see what Julian's doing. He's going to try and run long on hards possibly and go to softs at the end, or just after midpoint of the race he could jump to the mediums and have better pace at the end.
From his point of view, ultimately, Donny is 2 places behind him on the grid.
Literally going to start right behind him.
Yeah.
Staring at the rear wing of the car he needs to get past.
Exactly. Donny really has to get ahead of him and put some cars in between them both, just to even have a whisker of this championship. So let's see, 22 laps. This is going to be intense.
Booth has missed his box. Stringy's missed his box. So's Rooster.
I feel sorry for all their girlfriends. Sorry. I couldn't resist.
Wow. I should have expected that from you, to be fair.
Yeah, spot on. It's just what I do. But here we go.
Yep. Bit of a weird glitch with the timing board there. Can we have some lights? It would be good. Here we go. 3 red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights, and for the finale of Tier 3, we're racing! Jake's had a great start. Ghost has as well, but Neil's probably going to get him on the inside. Oh, Julian's round!
Julian's in the wall! He's in the wall! He's got no front wing!
Oh, there's quite a bit of carnage at the back there by the looks of it.
Oh my god. And Donny has had a collision with Scottish Ninja, a virtual safety car. Scottish Ninja's got a penalty for the collision with Donny, who's in P6. And Julian is at the back of the grid on the hard tyre, which he's now got to pit to get rid of. And we've got cars trying to...
Ninja's just had another 5 seconds.
Yeah, a lot of cars are trying to reorganise their positions because they're out of position. And in doing so, there's been a bit of a mess up. We've got a full safety car. It's been upgraded to a full. This is a blessing for DRS Julian now. If it was just a virtual, he would have been up a creek without a paddle.
It really
he
would.
He can now pit, get a new front wing on, rejoin the back of the pack, and... Oh my word!
Melvin's missing an end plate.
I just watched DRS Julian nearly take himself out on the back of Airways. Wow. Oh wow. Yeah, that was a bit of a mess from the start, but
just skipping through the cars, see who's got damage. Obviously, Melvin's got no end plate. So it's really just Melvin and Julian that seem to have visible damage anyway. As we know, you can get invisible damage as well.
You can. Yeah, I've got to be honest. This is a spanner in the works for the plan that Julian would have had. He's going to pit. The real question is, now he's going on to the mediums. Really, he needs to try and stretch those mediums as long as possible and then go on the softs at the end.
Or will he go soft to try and gain positions and then go mediums at the end?
It's a good option. Either way, his game plan is very much out of the window.
It certainly is, which is really unfortunate. He's literally put the trophy half in Donny's hands at the moment.
Well, Donny's P6. For P6 you will get 8 points. Now, as it stands, that means that Julian does win the title by 2 points. Mind you, we are only on technically lap 2 of this Grand Prix. Now, Julian is in the pits, and he's not the only one. Scottish Ninja's in the pits, but he has retired. Melvin and Stringy B are also in the pit lane as well. Now, Melvin has gone for the hards, Stringy has gone for the hards, and Julian's gone medium here. He's playing safe, he's going to go for the medium tyre, fresh front wing, and then, most likely go for a set of softs or another set of mediums later on. Oh dear, that was a bit of a chaotic start.
Oh, let's hope he can pull it back and keep his head.
I've just realised I made a slight error in our calculations because Stube and Fox River being higher tier, Fox drops 4 places to P5
and Stubble drops P9.
4 place, so that means that Donny will actually be in P5 and overall after the deductions are corrected. He will get 10 points. As it stands, they're going to draw.
He'll be in P4 because of the amount of higher tiers we get. I just do fixed position drops.
Oh, okay.
So Fox will go 5th, Stube will go 9th, everybody else moves up.
Yeah.
So that would actually be enough for him to win it.
Yeah, Donny would, therefore, get to sneak the title. So, well...
But it's not over yet.
No, far from it, far from it.
Even if the safety car comes in this lap, we've still got 20 more laps to get through. So, anything could happen. It is MRC.
Of course, of course. Now then. When your missus mentioned the word spa and day, and this is the case I know in my own personal situation, is if I mention the word spa to my partner, I will usually get the words of treatments, beauty therapy, massages, and they'll get very excited until they realise that I want about the Formula 1 at Spa-Francorchamps. So, unfortunately, there's two types of people in the world. There's people in the world who, when they hear the word spa, they think of jacuzzis and back rubs, and then there's people like us who just hear horsepower, overtaking, and massive crashes.
And beautiful scenery.
And beautiful trees and hills and crashes.
No, I mean,
Yes.
I get the complete opposite. I mentioned Spa, and she's like, "Oh, my favourite track, beautiful scenery, I love it there."
Yeah, see, when the F1 was on in Spa last month, I deliberately made a joke about, should we have a Spa day this Sunday? And got greeted with, potentially. And then I told her it was the F1, and then I got the silent treatment for about 10 minutes.
Was that after we spent the Saturday watching the sprint in the pub?
Yes, it was. And obviously I was deliberately doing it just to tease and wind her up. Anyway, Spa is, without doubt, one of the fans, drivers and teams' favourite tracks to go to. It's beautiful, it's fun, it's fast, it's elegant, you get a mix of weather, you can overtake and battle, and you get a good mix of strategies and setups too. Because you've got to balance the car out here. You've got this long Camel straight and then the run to Blanchimont where you need such high speed. You're in excess of 200 mile an hour on both sections, even without DRS. And then you've got the twisty tight sections from Le Combe to Pouhon. And then through the S's into Stavelot, where you need good front end grip and then rear traction on the exits as well. So it's a real balance of a car's setup that you need here, so that you've got good, stable rear end and traction, but also a front end that wants to be responsive without losing that straight line speed, otherwise you just get absolutely mugged.
Yeah, it really is not an easy track to work with.
Indeed. You find some people will go stupidly low on the wings, almost Monza level wings, and then find that you get to the middle sector and everyone's all over them. So
That's if they make it up rally on.
Exactly. But then you find that you get to the straight and they're that quick that you can't then make a move on them because they just run away.
And we used to find that a lot on F1 2021. You know who ran low wings,
Yeah.
because in a race situation they always crashed at Radion.
Yeah.
It was great in qualifying, great when you're practicing with low fuel. As soon as you put race fuel in, try going flat through Radion. No, see you later, in a wall, bye bye, race over. And it was like that was all she wrote. Why go low wings for one lap? No points are won in qualifying.
Exactly. That's exactly it. Points are won on the race day.
There we go,
Now, speaking
safety
of race
cars
day-
notified, and
Exactly.
Fox is the de facto leader. It's just coming up to... Well, he'll get to Blanchimont in a minute. It is quite a long straight and he's going a little bit slow. Obviously trying to let this safety car get to the pit lane, and he wants to get a good jump on those behind him. And I think he's going.
He's already gone. Wow, he's gone early. He's already a second clear.
He really caught Neil napping, but
I'll be
it
honest
didn't
with you,
catch
that
Ghost
caught me
Rider
napping.
out.
Caught me out.
I think Ghost Rider was ready for that.
Indeed. Now, Frank and Neil are in the real fight for the leaders. As you mentioned, post their deductions, Fox River will fall behind these guys. Boofy in P4, there's a man you want to keep an eye on. He's the dark horse today. No one's really accounted for him in this situation, but he is very much up there on merit. The man from Rotherham.
Ah, Mr. Booth.
Lord of the Booth. Oh, he's had a moment through Eau Rouge and Radion. Stubbs alongside him. Stubb is passed. Got a great run over the hill. Now, will Boothie play the team game and let Donny through? This is his teammate for the evening.
Have a look.
If I were Boothie, I would be letting him through for the team game. And
Jazz Bodge is
out. Jelly Bean has caused another safety car.
Lacombe.
Oh,
that's an unusual place to have an accident.
Indeed, we've got another safety car.
I think he's hit the curb. He's on the inside. Where you clip the curb wrong and it just spearheads you into the wall.
Question.
Go ahead.
If you're DS Julian, do you gamble on putting on another set of mediums, knowing you'll only lose one position at worst, if you have the new set of A-Winners, knowing that you therefore will potentially be able to make it to the end on that set of tyres?
He's only been on them for 2 laps.
I know.
And it was only half a lap of racing.
Exactly, but you still have a few percent of wear, where if you can get a brand new set with absolutely zero wear on them, it's like 422, so 18 to go after this, 2 of which will be behind the safety car. It's not out the realms of possibility that he could make it to the end. We saw Ant in Tier 1 on Monday go 17 laps on a set of mediums, which, but I can tell you now, being in the party chat with him, he told me that his tyres were very much on the dead side, although he used a few more explicit words than that. A few other drivers are thinking of pitting. Ty Clear in the Alpha Tauri has dived into the pit lane, and no one else has. It's just Ty Clear. So Julian clearly sticking with the plan. You're not going to mess around with the tyre strategy.
I've got a question for you though. When Ant was using these explicit words, were they in French?
Yes. Now, not that it's relevant to Tier 3, but Ant, when he's driving, he talks to you in an English accent with a little hint of French. It's posh English with a hint of French, until he gets angry, in which case he goes full French.
Yep, I heard him when we did the UK versus the Dutch.
Yes.
He was all calm, speaking English, nicey. Then he lost his rag and it was just full-blown French, and it was like wiping your bum with silk.
I'll be honest, I can speak a bit of French, but my French vocabulary was completely lost when he started getting angry.
The Merovingi from The Matrix was so right when he said cursing in French is like wiping your bottom with silk. I mean, he didn't use them exact words, they were a little bit more PG-13, shall we say, but I'm not going to repeat them on stream.
PEGI-13. Yeah, well, we're not, well, I'd say we're PG, but we're friendly. There's a few ambiguous innuendos here and there. Martin Hills likes to talk about the cream of...
some young man.
Oh, well, there you go, you said it, so I didn't. He likes to play that game. Speaking of food, we're both foodies, we both like our snackages, as we could say.
Maybe a little bit too much, but yeah.
I definitely am guilty of that. Now, traditional Belgian food. When you say to people about food in Belgium, everyone automatically jumps onto the Belgian chocolate brigade. Now, Belgian chocolate is fantastic, and along with Swiss chocolate is up there as the best in the world. But do you know what other foods are popular in Belgium?
Actually, I don't.
Well, in Belgium and in the Flemish region, which of course is a mix between Belgium and the Netherlands, it's very popular. One popular dish they like to enjoy is mussels with fries. Mussels are very popular in Belgium, and bear in mind that Belgium's a very small country and doesn't have a huge access to the sea. Mussels are very popular. They're also very much big fans of beef stew, meatballs and cherries, which I think is a very weird combination, and white sausage. Which,
fair enough,
I think is a little bit racist. Have you ever been to Belgium before, Mr. Simba?
I have not. Only ever been abroad once, and that was to Croatia.
Croatia? Oh, I'd love to go to Croatia. Well, I have been to Belgium. It was when I was in school. We went on a history trip to look at the Belgian battlefields because, of course, World War I and II. And I spent a whole 3 to 4 hours walking around these battlefields one morning at lunchtime, thinking about the chocolate shop that I was going to later, and I then spent 5 hours in chocolate shops in, I forgot the name of the town, but the town was very close to a circuit called Zolder, which is also in Belgium, and is the second most known circuit in Belgium after, of course, Spa-Francorchamps. But did you know Spa used to be double the length that it is now? Literally double. This 7.4 kilometre track used to be a 15 kilometre track.
I had heard about this.
So where Le Combe is, instead of going right down the hill into Rivage, it used to continue on into the hills and the forest and the Ardennes forest further along. It also, at Eau Rouge, instead of going up the hill, it used to venture left, which went into the trees that way before coming back up the hill of Radion. And of course the old circuit rejoins the circuits we know it at Savalot on the run up to Blanchemont.
Fair enough. Well, I quite like this layout, so I'm glad they went with it.
So, I quite like this layout too, but there's your history lesson, which I've somehow brought into the history of World War II without mentioning Adolf. Oops.
You just did.
Look,
and safety car is in this lap.
How often do I mention Hitler in MRC screens? It just accidentally happens. He had an influence. We're also looking at Mercedes-Benz. They made cars for him as well. Anyway, let's gloss over these minor details of the World War.
Yeah, before you get shot like I did.
Yeah. Well, let's not talk about my Austria stream. That was worse than what you did. Anyway, Foxy Woxy is winding up to go again. He's going to do the same thing.
If he's sensible, he won't go at the exact same. He's gone.
He has. He's done it again. Not another one.
We just saw him all of a sudden bolt, and they were like, "Yeah, bye bye. See you later."
The Fox is out the cage. Although Neil, being ahead of Ghost Rider, this time looks to be a little bit more on the ball.
Stube's very on the ball as well. He may have Ghost Rider by the end of the Kemmel Straight.
Stubalicious is looking hungry. Don't know what he's had for tea today, but look at the exit of La Source. He's got a great run, but Ghost Rider's using all of his ERS to try and pull away again.
No point splurging it all this early. It just leaves you vulnerable in a couple of laps.
Indeed. Here comes Stube on Ghost Rider. He's got a great slipstream through Eau Rouge and Radion. Ghost Rider's using a loss of ERS to stay ahead. Just behind, the Williams have no, they've not inverted. Donny was going for a move on Boothie. Boothie did not yield, and if anything, Johnny has lost a little bit of time there because of that. The team game is not being played by the Williams boys.
Let's go have a look at Simon in his energy can.
Simon in the Monster Energy can. Ooh, Fire Rooster, big twitch through No Name.
I thought we were going to collect Baby Hornet then for a second.
I did. Speaking of collecting, Baby Hornet did not collect his opportunity to win the title this evening. Unfortunately, he, amongst a few people, was out in the last couple of rounds. They fell short of being in the contention for the final rounds, but he's had a great season. Actually, I'd say this would probably go up there with his best season in MRC in terms of his raw pace and competitiveness even.
He has got amazing pace at the moment as Simon.
His confidence has really risen, and I'm sure he won't mind saying there's been times where he's doubted himself heavily, but he's demonstrated on track he is rapid.
Well, speaking of energy cans, Melvin's cutting his way through like crazy.
Indeed, those two are quite a good pairing, and they're good friends off track as well, which is what you want to see from some teammates.
So he's...
Ooh, it was a Haas very wide at the final corner. That's Stringy B. By the way, we're at the back of the grid. There's a little bit of a tussle going on between Stringy B, Ty Clear, Airways and Wookie.
Yeah, Airways and Wookie are really going at it.
Yeah, Wookie's just made a move out of the source on the way down to Eau Rouge. Great move. And there's a bit of chaos here as Sambal's lining up Triz. Oh, Sambal nearly loses the rear ends. And yep, Sambal is through. Oh, DRS Julian looking to follow him through, and yeah, he's just snuck through. That was nearly a collision between Julian and Triz, though. Wow.
Luckily, it was anticipated well, and it was a good braking manoeuvre.
Now Stringy B entire clear past Triz. Triz has just lost 4 positions in 4 corners, and now Wookie, that's 5 positions in 5 corners. Oh, he's had a nightmare there, and the Airways is all over the back of him now.
They always say it never rains, but it pours. It tends to be when you make a little mistake, you lose out to so many people at this track.
Indeed. Now, Farjay Reese is really holding up Baby Hornet here, and he's got Rob Smith all over his rear as well. And Melvin is now closing up to try and get in on the action.
Well, this is a familiar picture. A Ferrari fighting a Red Bull and a Red Bull fighting a Mercedes.
Yeah, we've seen that a few times. Slightly different fight that we do see is an Alfa Romeo, an Alpine, and a Haas fighting. This is Sambal Julian and Stringy B. And tell you what, Julian's on the inside of Sambal, into the bus stop. He's kept it nice and neat, and he's got it done. That's a great move from DRS Julian.
Oh, Sambal got really twitchy on the exit of the bus stop.
Yeah, Sambal, to be fair to him, left Julian lots of room, is very courteous. He clearly knew it wasn't his fight today.
He did, he just got a little bit too power happy on the exit.
Yeah, that was very well fought, cleanly done between the two, and DRS Julian has actually pulled a very healthy gap to the guys behind.
Oh, Simon went really wide at the top of Radion then.
Yeah, Rob Smith and Baby Hornet nearly colliding there. And Melvin and Simon are side by side. Are they going to play the team game? No, it doesn't look like it. They're fighting a little bit.
Melvin's through though.
Indeed. Now, DRS Julian is closing in on this quartet of Rob Smith, 5J Rooster and the 2 Red Bulls. He needs to clear them fast. Very fast. And the fact the 4 of them are fighting so hard does not bode well for him.
Well, he's currently losing time.
Yeah. He was gaining, but he's just had a moment because now Stringy B, who was the second behind him, is lining up a move into Puon. Not into Puon. Oh my. Oh. Stringy just went for one on the inside there. That is not somewhere you want to throw a wheel up the inside. Oh, not ideal, but nevertheless he has got through. Julian will not be a happy man in that cockpit. I know he streams his races live. There may have been some sweary words in Dutch.
Right, I've got his stream on in the background, but I haven't got it on volume, so I don't know.
Yeah. Now then, there's a nice fight between Neil, Ghost Rider and Stoob still going on for P. Oh, and Stoob nearly the wall! Oh, wow.
Julian's just got Stringy B back.
Good progress from Julian.
Leave space, boys. I think, yeah, String is not giving up on this one easily.
No,
side by side into La Source. Who's going to get the DRS because they're side by side?
Just an update up front for you. Ghost Rider has just taken Neil for what is the provisional lead after Fox's penalty into Lacombe, and Stoob's now lining him up.
Can Julian defend into Lacombe? He can. Must have had enough straight line speed. Let's go have a look back up at the front.
Yeah, Ghost Rider made a nice clean DRS pass down the Camel Straight. Neil, bit powerless to defend. Bread and butter, simple pass.
And Fox has done a Max Verstappen and just checked out.
Yeah. Rather worryingly, Johnny's struggling to hang on to the back of these guys, and his teammate, Boothy's, actually pulling away from him now.
It's
so these two... Sorry, go ahead.
Booth is pretty much pushing Stu around the track.
Yeah, Boothy's looking rather quick. And we've got a yellow flag. Oh, we've got a Ferrari round. It's Wookie.
Wookie the rookie.
Yeah, he's running at Pill 1. It's a shame.
Easily done at Pill 1.
Oh, I'll tell you what, though.
Melvin's out.
Melvin's out. He's got it at Stavolo. And that's another safety car. Now, if you're on a medium tyre now, you pit for the hards. If you're on a hard tyre, you pit for a medium.
He was...
Oh, collision! Ghost Rider's been hit by Neil in the bus stop.
He was on the inside, was Melvin, so he's obviously got it a little bit wrong coming out at Stavolo.
Oh. And here's one for you. Dave Johnny has opted to not pit. And now his teammate ahead of him, Boothy, did pit. Boothie, of course, in the same car as him, would have therefore would have held him up. He'd have double stacked. So Donny's gone for the gamble of not pitting.
And put the tyres up and then everybody can out. Rob Smith's gone to softs.
Every other driver has pitted except for our now net race leader, Dave Johnny. I think this might well cost
Ty
him the
Clear
title.
hasn't pitted either. Well, he has in the race, but not at that safety car.
Yeah, oh yeah, so apologies, yeah. Everyone else has pitted in this race apart from Dave Johnny. I'll be honest, I think that might be a title deciding decision.
Very possibly, because he's going to have a very, very fast Fox up his diffuser.
Yeah, everyone behind him is going to be rapid, and
Julian is on fresh mediums in P13.
Yeah, everyone goes to the end. Rob Smith, though, he's on the softs. That's a gamble.
I think Mr. Smith has been watching the likes of Jana Watmere.
I mean, I did this in Saudi Arabia, and it worked until the last 3 laps when the tyres died. And I got caught by a rampant Usonian Dynamite, who were probably, I'd say, the fastest 2 drivers in the league, and I got swamped on the last lap by them both. I have to tell you for free, the soft tyre here, 8 laps, they're great. 9 laps, they're doable. 10 laps, you start crying and wishing you'd not done it. 11 laps, which is what he's looking at. I know the safety car will be 2 of those laps, but still.
You question your life choices.
Yeah, the last lap or 2 of this race, if there's no more safety cars, and I'm telling you now, Rob Smith may be questioning why he was born. Because those tyres will be really, really hard to drive on. For everyone who's on a set of mediums right now, they will be loving life. DRS Julian pitted for a fresh set of mediums. That could be, for him, the decision that wins the title, because he's going to fly. He'll go past the hard tyre runners. When Dave Johnny eventually pits, he'll almost certainly drop to the back of the field. Donny needs a safety car, lap 16, 17 really, and everyone else to pit for softs.
Ideally, yes. But we shall see what happens.
Indeed.
So in the spirit of questions,
Yep.
do you know who holds the record for the most wins at this track?
Most wins at Spa would be Michael Schumacher.
Correct. Do you know how many?
Schumacher at Spa, I believe, has 6.
You would be factually correct. Well done, Mr. Bailey.
Oh, I'm good.
Now, which constructor has the most wins at Spa?
Ooh. Now, the obvious answer would be Ferrari based upon Schumacher. However, I'm going to go with McLaren.
Incorrect. Your gut feeling was correct. It was Ferrari.
Oh, it was Ferrari. Oh, damn.
Do you know how many?
Ferrari, 11?
No.
9?
No, higher.
Oh, 15.
Not quite. Getting there.
14?
No, that's still higher.
16.
No,
Oh, I give up.
18.
Oh, wow.
And not all of them were with Michael Schumacher, because he won some of his in Benetton.
Yeah, he won 2 with Benetton, I believe. 94 and 95.
92 and
Sorry,
95.
92. Oh, yeah, sorry, that was it.
Because he
92,
took
yeah.
his first win at Belgium in 92.
He did. He also took his first ever Grand Prix drive in a Jordan in 1991.
The Jordan 191.
Yes, he paid Eddie Jordan $100,000 to drive that day.
And
which
his
is made up by sponsorships, of course.
His manager made a false promise that he would take a full-time contract.
Yes, which of course never actually happened.
No, because he got snapped up by Benetton.
Yep, he left to go to Benetton for the following season. Because he had a really disappointing race, because despite qualifying, I believe in P6,
7.
Everyone was, 7. Oh damn, I was so close. Everyone was so astounded by how well he done. He then had a clutch failure in the race, which, as much as I wasn't a Schumacher fan, you have to say that is rather a shame. But nevertheless.
See, I was a Schumacher fan, which is why I know a few of his facts. And I've read a book about him.
He's not the only F1 World Champion Great to come alive at Spa. Kimi Räikkönen's another driver who somehow at Spa would find something extra. He would always deliver at Spa. So Giancarlo Fisichella is another driver who used to always revel in this environment.
Mr. Senna did like this one as well.
Oh my god, this is huge. DRS Junior's just got a 5-second penalty. And of course, this could be humongous in the title fight later on this evening.
It really could.
Oh wow.
Rob Smith just had 5 seconds as well for ignoring yellow flag.
Oh dear.
Something's happened towards the back, or the middle at least.
Wow. Now then, Donny has dropped the throttle. I have to say, I think he's going to get swamped this lap though. Those new tyres are going to really pay dividends. The undercut here is worth a couple of seconds a lap. It's powerful. And look at this. Oh, it's a slide! Johnny's really lost position. I'm surprised he didn't collide there, if I'm honest with you. Now,
he's not giving it up though. He's absolutely pushing Fox up Radion.
Indeed, he needs to stay with Fox as long as possible and pray that something happens to Julian. But I tell you what, even if Julian doesn't finish, he's got to finish a minimum of P5 to keep the title alive. He's trying to go round Fox into Lecombe. He's not going to get the job done there, not on these tyres.
Let's have a quick look at the standings, because P5
got
was...
a yellow flag. And that's Jamer and Fire Rooster are dropped down to the back of the grid. And so is virtual safety car. Oh, wow. Full safety car. Another one?
Yeah, that's a bit unusual.
Oh, wow. So from what I can see here, the Alpine of Sambao has collided with Triz in the Haas. Not sure exactly how this occurred, but they are both quite far down the order. We are, of course, going to see another 3 laps at least of slow action.
Just had a look at the standings. Donny needs a minimum P4 finish to take the title.
Well,
he will not win on count. Either P5 with fastest lap or P4. He will not win on count back. It'll be 3 wins versus 2.
Yeah. So from here onwards, if I was anyone wanting to gamble, set of softs now.
This is where Donny needs to pit.
Donny now pits for a set of softs, and the title fight is alive again. But he will need to make his way through the field. He'll also need to pray that some people fancy a set of softs and want to get rid of the hard tyres. If he doesn't pit now, the title is officially over.
He's
and
pitting.
Of course he does. Let's see, is anyone
Staying
else
on board with him,
in?
so we'll see what he gets.
No one is pitting yet. No one's taken up the option for a soft. I would fancy it if I was in the midfield. And we're seeing a Ferrari in. Yep, that's Fire Rooster, J Mer, Sambao and Triz are all in. All of them will surely go for a soft here.
Donny's gone soft, he's taken your advice.
Yep, I mean, I am wise. My genius knows no bounds.
Except when you make bad calls for yourself.
Right. Look, Steve, 5-second penalty for colliding with Baby Hornet. Australia was a bad decision. I've learned my error of my ways of not pitting under a safety car.
Thing is, your advice for other people is great, you just seem to ignore it for yourself.
I do. Because somehow in my head I think, but what if?
You end up second guessing yourself and it ended up costing you, so it's like, just trust your own instinct.
Indeed. But yeah, ultimately I think that's the right decision for Donny's pit for a set of softs there. They will go to the end here comfortably. Rob Smith right now is the man laughing most of all. His soft tyre that he's put on, he needed a safety car to drag these out and he's just got it, so he's laughing. That means he will not need to make another pit stop, he should be fine for the end. But Neil on the mediums in P3, he will get tie clear. Tie clear's both got a penalty and old tyres, so he'll get past him. And Fox River ahead of him will have a penalty for being a higher tier driver. So as it stands, Neil is looking very good for a potential win.
That's very true.
So credit to him for how his race has gone so far. He has delivered.
With this, obviously, tyre advantage is going to help him massively as well.
Oh yeah, he should fly.
As should Donny, really. P13 with fresh softs.
Yeah, Donny, I expect here to make some moves. Bear in mind how many people ahead of him have penalties, and there's a few higher field drivers too. I think realistically Donny could make it P5. And if you bear in mind he's on those soft tyres, if he can get a fastest lap in P5 with Julian, as we know, currently in P10, it's not out of the question that the title is over. He's definitely in the mix here. But has he got enough laps to get the job done?
It also depends on what Julian does, because if he scores, then obviously Donny needs more than just the P5 with fastest lap.
Ultimately, Donny has got that 5-second penalty. Sorry, Julian's got that 5-second penalty to serve at some point. Whether he...
I'm really surprised he didn't dive in the pits, grab a set of softs and get it served.
That to me implies... Oh, Stu's just pitted, by the way. That to me implies the idea that maybe he's going to appeal that penalty and he feels it wasn't a just pen. Also, track position. He's in P9. He knows there's cars ahead who he can potentially jump on those mediums who when he's on... Also, when they're on hards. I think Julian and Donny will both fancy themselves to make moves after safety cars in.
I do as well, because you've got P4 to P6 are all on hards. Tyre clears on 10 lap hards, which are not going to feel great soon. And this will be its second restart.
Yeah, they're not going to be great. And then don't
multiple
forget,
heat cycles on the hards do not work.
No. And then Tyre Clear, Baby Hornet, Rob Smith, and of course Julian have all got penalties.
It's going to be nail biting till the final.
Oh yeah.
But that's what we want. We want nail biting finals.
Indeed. We're going to get 7-lap dash to the finish.
Yep, Stu's about to get on the back of the pack at Les Combes.
Indeed.
So we've just got to wait the other half a lap.
Yep,
it feels like it takes forever.
It does. Although, I tell you what, the undulations, and as you mentioned earlier, the fantastic rolling hills in the Ardennes Forest, it is one of the more picturesque and beautiful tracks. This is very similar to Austria in terms of the hills and the forest. It's a very pretty scenery track.
Well, speaking of hills, we don't have a Mr. Hills in the chat tonight. I believe he's out.
Frankie, after what he said in general chat to me earlier, who? He picked a fight with the wrong Bailey. Anyway. This Bailey had his Weetabix this morning and fancies a fight. Now then, Foxy River.
That was pretty obvious with the way you were bantering Sarge in general chat.
Yes. Now then, the safety car is coming in this lap. The Aston Martin safety car will fly away, almost Max Verstappen-esque.
And let's see if Mr. Foxy Bingo is going to go early again. I mean, he's slowed the pack very early. He's also got Ty Clear behind him, who hasn't been part of these restarts.
Yeah, this is the 4th safety car restart we've had, and it's the 3rd that Fox will have led. The other 2 he went just out of Blanchimont on. So
it was just before, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, basically at Blanchimont on each time.
He's probably going to go any second if he's doing it again. He's going.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Always nails it before Blanchimont. When everybody else is just weaving around and not expecting it, it's like he goes early.
It's not always good to finish early or to go for it early, but you know, he has on this occasion. Now then, Foxy Bingo runs away, but the more important fight to bear in mind is Day Johnny is already on the back of Wookie. Look how close he is into La Source. He's going up the inside, that's one, but Wookie's got deep, he's fighting back. Will Johnny get the exit? Yeah, he's got all the traction on those soft tyres, and that's a position made. GOS Julian, meanwhile, he's not that close to Stringy B, who's fighting Rob Smith. There's only one car between the title fighters.
Although, it doesn't look like Wookie's giving this up yet.
No, Wookie's having a look at the inside. Nah, Donny's held on. He's fine. Oh, that's a bit close, mine, but he's just held on. Now, Donny will clear these Ferraris nicely and run away as he is, and he will close up to Airways in the Aston Martin.
who doesn't seem to be able to hold the back of Julian very well.
No, Julian, mind you, he's in a world of pain right now. Those mediums are great, but his issue is the two cars ahead are also on very competitive softer medium tyres, as Neil makes a pass on Ty Clear for P2, which of course we know that is the net lead.
Let's have a look a bit further up, because we've got Rob Smith on his softs, who we both said was crazy for going for it.
Although now it looks inspired.
Looks a really genius move now.
Yeah, it does. And I have to say, Ghost Rider's not that close to Ty Clear, who was fighting with Neil. And he's now the cork in the bottle with Boothie all over the back. Boothie going around the outside of the bus stop. He has to back out of that one. Didn't quite get it lined up. And oh, big twitch from Baby Hornet just behind him. Will that cost Baby Hornet position to Stringy B? Not this time.
Although Rob Smith got very leery on the exit of the bus stop.
Julian nearly hits Rob Smith on the entrance to turn 1, who then does hit Stringy B. Oh, wow. Desperation moves, potentially. The championship on the line. Are we seeing the pressure?
That was August. Rob Smith got very leery on the exit of the bus stop and he gave him the run.
Indeed. Now Boothie's going for a move on Ghost Rider. He's got the slipstream from Ty Clear, but Ghost Rider's got such good straight line speed. And Ghost Rider's up the inside of Ty Clear. Are we going to see a collision? Boothie's gone back round him. Boothie's got the move done. And now Ghost Rider's going to drop behind. Oh, we got a car on the wall.
Stringy's out.
Are we going to get another safety car? Or has the safety car had enough for the day? I think he has.
I think it's had enough. It's just throwing yellow for now.
Yeah,
and it's
I think
cleared.
the game only lets you have so many, so...
It's none of them all 4 though. Although we have had virtuals.
We've had 2 virtuals that became safeties. Wow.
Unless it's because the pack is so bunched, it's like it's a long track, it'll be done before you get round.
Yeah. Julian and Donny are together on track. In fact, on board with Donny, he can see the back of Julian, who's in this train that he's closing in on. Julian needs to make positions quickly. He just attempted a move on Rob Smith in turn 1. It didn't work, but will he go again? Just up the order though. Look at Baby Hornet on Ghost Rider. Wow, they are close. And just ahead of them, oh my word, Boothie. Really going for it on Ty Clear now.
Trying to go around the outside, which becomes the inside.
Done. Lord Booth, great
Ty Clear's dive for the pits.
Oh, we got an Alpha P round!
That's Ghost Rider.
Oh, I'm not sure if he went by himself or not, but DRS Julian's ahead of Rob Smith now. So Julian up to P5, and now he's on the back of Baby Hornet.
Which could be crucial for his title
and
fight.
Here comes Johnny. Johnny's going to go for it on the inside of Eau Rouge, and he backs out. Very wise, but he's going to get the run out of Radion now as we head down the Camel Straight.
We're on board with Julian. Position. He's got a good run. But has he got the straight line speed? He's going for the inside.
Yeah, he's got it. Oh, Hornet's coming back at him, but yeah, Julian's got the position. Hornet knew to back out of that. He did not need to fight that.
Sometimes it's better to go, nah, see you later. I'll live to fight another day.
Yeah, these two are making positions hand over fist as it stands. Julian's going to get the podium, and that is all he needs to secure the win today in the title, is a podium. Of course, that is pre-penalties.
Let's have a quick look at the penalties. Baby Hornet's got 6, Rob's got 5, J Mur's got 3, Stoob's got 3, Sambal's got 3, Triz has got 3, and Ty Clear's got 3. So as it stands...
Stu's got 3! He's picked up a 3-second penalty.
That puts him to 8. Ooh.
Yeah, now if he doesn't get any of that removed, that 8 seconds of penalty is going to drop him out of the points. Suddenly, the title for Day Johnny is back on the cards because of the penalties ahead of him. He's to jump up to P4, and if he's in P4, he's then within the 4 placements of Fox River, which means he's on for a podium. Day Johnny, because of deductions, will be on for a podium, and if Julian doesn't get any points,
Stoob's out.
That is the title over. That's the title for Donny if this stays like this.
Yeah, it's not an ideal situation.
As it stands, Donny is going to win the title. He's doing enough right now to win this. 4 laps to go. Who's got the nerve?
This is where it really gets to you.
This is going to be intense. Donny's lining up Simon, the Baby Hornet. Who's lining up Julian? Oh, we're going to have 3 fighting in Silicon.
Oh, Julian's round.
I didn't see any contact, but Julian's in the wall. And that means Donny's up to P5 after the penalty for Baby Hornet, P4, and then therefore the penalty from the Fox River, P3. And as we just saw, Julian's not going to score points as it stands.
I think this could be game over.
I think this is the title for Johnny.
I think you could be right. I think that spin is crucial.
Indeed, Stu's after session, he's just voiced that he's not a happy bunny in this.
J-Mo's out. He's lost it a poo on.
Oh, so is he done. He's now Antonio Giovinazzi after he lost it big time there a few years ago.
But we're still only getting yellow flags.
We're down to the last 14 drivers now. 3.5 laps to go, and as it stands, Donny is going to claim a title.
Donny's now P4. He's just got Baby Hornet.
Hornet had the penalty anyway. Now, the only thing that can stop him is if DRS Julian can make some significant places. Neil has pitted, by the way.
That's a strange choice.
Why is Neil pitted? That's a really bold call. That promotes Johnny up to P3, that will become P2. We're looking at a Williams 1-2 here.
Now that's something we haven't seen for a long time.
No, and here's the interesting facts. It's DRS Julian, P7 right now. If he can get ahead of Wookie and look at removing a 5-second penalty, then the title race is open again. Ty clears out. He's just put on a brand new set of softs. He's lost it.
Coming out of the pits or something.
Yeah, the pit exit, and he looks like he's collided with Sambal.
Yeah, Sambal's just recovering.
Yeah. Now then, Julian has just got past Wookie. Can he pull away at least 3 seconds and then remove the 5 seconds in stewarding perhaps? If he can do that, then the title would swing back to him, I believe. He'd get 8 points for this, and Johnny would get 18 for P2. He would win it on countback if he can get 5 seconds removed and pull 3 seconds on Wookie. This isn't over yet.
No, it's really, really not.
Of course, all it takes is either Baby Hornet or Rob Smith to DNF, and suddenly we're looking at a completely different scenario again.
Baby Hornet's in the gravel!
Oh no. Oh, I've not just jinxed that. Oh, I've not just jinxed that for Baby Hornet. Oh no, Simon.
It looks like he's lost it at the campus chicane.
Yeah, he has. Now then, DRS Julian, the title is very much up for grabs between him and Donny. J. Donny is in P3, which will become P2. Julian is currently P5. But he will drop a lot of positions unless he can appeal those penalty seconds that he's got. Oh, this is tight.
It really is. This is probably going to be decided in the steward's room.
This will be decided in stewarding, almost certainly. If he can get those 5 seconds removed and pull out the gap that he's currently doing, then he could hold on to P5, and P5 would be enough as it stands. Alternatively, if J. Donny can catch up to Boothie for what would become the race win, he can win the title.
Well, he's got over 4 seconds to try and catch up, and Boothie looks quick.
Boothie, I'm not sure if Boothie's ever won in Tier 3, but this is an opportunity for Dan, the Rotherham man, to pick up a fantastic result.
I think he may have potentially had one on track and lost it on a penalty, if I recall.
Boothie's just got wide at No Name, and that's given him a penalty of 3 seconds. He's 4.7 ahead of his teammate. Will he hang on? A lap and a half to go. As it stands, he will hang on for what will become the win.
And Donny may come under pressure from Rob Smith here.
Yeah, I'm just on board. Rob Smith has got a penalty though, so even if Rob Smith gets him, it won't be definitive of the race. But of course, the fight is not what Donny would like. Not what he wants. He does not need the stress of a fighting car on his rear end. Ghost Rider has got past Wookie as well. Now, that means that DRS Julian's got to watch out for a potentially fast-coming Alpine on a recovery drive. Ghost Rider was in the mix for the win today.
Yeah, it's definitely nail-biting at this point.
This is going down to the wire.
I mean, we literally do not know who's going to win this.
Here we go. One more lap. One more lap. We should start thinking about our drive of the day and notable mentions for the season for Tier 3. Have you got anyone in mind, Lord Simba?
I think any one of the top few in the championship deserve a notable mention.
Yeah, so obviously that's Fox, Dave Johnny, DRS Julian, of course, as well. Let's bring the standings up quickly just to compare a few people. Other notable mentions, of course. I mean, how can we not mention? How can we forget? Of course, Ghost Rider, who's actually in P3. He's just out of contention today. Rob Smith in P5, and of course Melvin. Grant as well. Actually, he won the MRCX Challenger title. P7 going into this final round as well. All have had fantastic seasons, so great for all of them.
Now 3 seconds for Sambal.
Indeed. I think DRS Julian, without the 3 seconds, with the 3 seconds only, would drop to P6, which means, as it stands, he would not win the title. Even if he gets 5 seconds removed, he'd still lose the title by 2 points, as it stands. I've just done some maths. Anyway, Fox River comes around the final corner. He takes the provisional win.
Show off.
Good job. Now, Boothie, as long as nothing is shielding ruins his day, is about to take a Tier 3 victory here in Belgium. Great drive from him. And here comes what I believe, unless I'm wrong with my maths, could well be the title for Donny. P3. Rob Smith, P4. DRS Julian comes across the line, P5. But he's going to drop down the order. Really far down the order, in fact. He's already down to P8.
I think he's going to stay at P8, I believe.
Yeah, P8, yeah. If he gets 5 seconds removed, he'll go back to P6. But ultimately, bear in mind that Donny will be P2 after all of this.
P6 is 8 points.
Is Julian
P2's
going to win
18.
on count back? If that happens, Julian would win it on count back. If he doesn't get it removed, then Donny wins. Oh, we'll have to wait and see his shooting, of course. What a day! What a drive from
But
everyone
as it
today,
currently stands, provisionally, J Donny is your Tier 3 champion.
He is.
Obviously, we'll look to get that confirmed as soon as possible.
Of course. What a season it's been, and the Tier 3 boys, I have to say, over the season, it's not been the cleanest on track, but it has got better as the season's gone on. There is still room for improvement going into Season 12. Great drive today, though. Generally speaking, across the board today, this is a great race.
Always a spectacle to watch his Spa.
Yes. Who's your driver of the day, Lord Simba?
I'm going to have to give it to Rob Smith. He's come from 16th to a podium.
Yeah, that's a great drive.
Once we have the demotion for Fox, obviously it's P4 on track, but he's going to take P3 in the end. That's a cracking drive.
Yeah, it's a great job from him. Personally, I want to give Boothie... We'll show it between Boothie and Rob Smith. I think Boothie for the win there. I think that's his first win in MRC. Unless I'm mistaken. I hope I'm not wrong. But if I'm right, that's his first win, so hard not to give him a mention. But yeah, great drive from Rob Smith. 16th of what becomes a podium is a great drive. What a deserving podium for those three.
Yeah, definitely a good race though. But provisional results, obviously Fox will drop, but it's Fox with the win, Boothie second, Donny third, Rob Smith fourth, Ghost Rider 5th, Wookie 6th, Neil 7th, Julian 8th, Baby Hornet 9th, Airways 10th, Fire Rooster 11th, Tris 12th, Sambal 13th, Tyclear 14th, Jamer 15th, Stoob 16th, and we didn't get to the end of the list.
Yep.
Well, I think it was just the DNFs at that point.
Indeed. Now I can confirm Julian has reported in the stewarding. So, we will have to wait and see after stewarding. But whether the title goes to Donny or to DRS Julian, we will find out in the evening. but I'm sure it's going to be intense to find out. And Boothie has confirmed it's his first win. He has confirmed it. Congratulations, Boothie.
Definitely. Let's hope nothing comes up in stewarding that takes it away. I hate taking wins away in stewarding.
Yeah, it
But
never feels
congratulations on the win, and provisionally congratulations to James, who looks to be, as it stands, the current champion. And, of course, thank you, Mr. Blowhole, for joining me for this finale.
Oh, it's been a pleasure, my friend.
Always a pleasure. And from everyone at MRC, that's season 11 done for Tier 3.
Indeed.
We have our final race in, 18 minutes?
Yeah.
The Tier 4 boys will take to the track. Obviously, titles are decided, but come along and watch the spectacle anyway. Give them some support.
Yeah, and likewise on Monday, the Tier 1 rerun of Hungary from a couple of weeks ago will be reincarnated.
I love Hungary.
Aye.
Good fun track, that one.
Indeed.
But that's all from us for tonight. So, good night.
Ta-ra.